it's daylight, and today is Talk About It Tuesday. So, today I want to talk about or share with you some safety tips for in case you are involved in a domestic violence episode. So, the first thing I want to share is do not go into a room where there's one way in and one way out. When you do that, you trap yourself. And chances are there's no getting out. So do not go, ladies. Oftentimes bathrooms have one way in and one way out. Don't run into the bathroom. Hiding in closets, not always safe. So the next thing I want to talk about is going into the kitchen. So there's knives, there's spatulas, there's pots, there's all kind of utensils that can be used as weapons. So going into the kitchen is not a good idea, especially if you are not trying to defend yourself. Some people fight back, some people don't. So if you're not a person that is trying to fight back, then the kitchen is definitely off limits for you. My best advice is for you to try to get out of the house. Sometimes you need to run outside in the yard and just scream like crazy and scream fire. When people hear fire, they jump, they move, they're calling 911. If you're just out there screaming, a lot of times people are just going to look because they're trying to figure out what's going on. But if you start screaming fire, they'll call 911 before they start trying to look to figure out what's going on. Unfortunate, but true. The next thing I want to tell you, if you're a person and you are a victim, you need to keep a backpack, whether it be at your house or at a trusted friend's house. Always keep a backpack in case you need to leave in an emergency. You've got some extra clothes and other things that you may need. Driver's license, social security cards, prescriptions, anything, insurance cards, copies of bank statements. These are things that you need to have already packed or a copy of in a file somewhere that you can get to if you have to escape. If there are children in the home, a code word or an action plan for if this happens, then you do this. Now, this requires that you know your kids, you know how mature they are, and you know what they are capable of doing. Even if you tell them, run to the neighbor's house, run across the street, run next door, and tell them to scream fire. They don't need to try to explain what's going on. They just need to go and scream down 911 or scream fire. Because we're trying to get you safe and we need the police or ambulance there immediately. You always need to have someone that you can talk to, that you trust, in case something happens, somewhere you can go, someone that will come pick you up. There's always needs to be a plan. And even if you're not trying to leave, most victims don't plan to leave. They leave because something happened and they didn't have a choice. So it's always a good thing to have a safety plan in place in case you have to leave, in case an episode happens that you just cannot return to that environment, or you have no other choice. So one thing I want to share that I still do is I back in my driveway, I back in my parking spaces, and because it's easier for me to pull off or pull out of a parking spot or pull out my driveway than it is for me to have to back out and then try to pull off. So these are just some things that I wanted to share for you to consider. So if you are a victim and you need a safety plan, Daylight is available. I can help you with the safety plan, even if you are not ready to leave your situation. It is always better to have a plan in place in case you need it. So hit me up on any of the social media sites. I'm always here to help. So thank you for tuning in, and please shine your light on domestic abuse.